Lights, camera, action. I'm Rob Vill, one of your hosts. We're back for episode 4. Me and my brother, Indy Uchiha.
What's going on, man? We got some shit you've been dying to talk about.
Yeah. I've really been dying to talk about this shit. Before we jump right into it, we took a week off last week. I was in California for my birthday. Even though we did want to pod, it just didn't work out because of the time difference. So when Indy was ready at 8 o'clock, when we would normally start, I was barely even sitting down to eat dinner. So here we are, fresh off our week hiatus. We got all types of shit. Actually, we don't have all types of shit, but we will get to all types of shit. We're going to talk about Ghostbusters Afterlife. So if you have not seen it, this is not spoiler free. We're going to be breaking down the movie just like how we did Eternal. So talk about Ghostbusters Afterlife. We're going to talk about Hawkeye. Disney Plus dropped the first 2 episodes today.
Hour-long episodes at that, like almost an hour long.
Exactly. That's one thing about the Disney Plus shows that kind of irk me. Like they're not traditional half hour and they're not traditional hour. They're like, here's your fucking 37 to fucking 51-minute episode. You don't know what you're gonna get.
Right. Here's your episode without a commercial break. Because we know how you would feel if we put ads in between our streaming episodes.
Hey, as long as the ads were like trailers and shit for other fucking Marvel movies, I might not be mad at that.
See the Spider-Man trailer fucking
again
8 times in a row.
Yeah, try to pick more shit out of it. We'll get amongst some other shit. We got the movie Randomizer. Did you watch Blade Runner?
Yes, I watched Blade Runner.
I did not. I told Rome that I was gonna lie and just read the Wikipedia about it, but I did not get a chance to watch it in 2 weeks, which is sad. But we will talk about it anyway because I've seen it, but it has been a while.
I fell asleep 4 times,
bro. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. There's a lot of places closed this year. I'm thinking about maybe sneaking off to a movie at some point tomorrow, probably to see Ghostbusters again. I think I'm going to kidnap Rev and Yosh and head over to Indy's house for Thanksgiving. Just
gobble, gobble.
Gobble, gobble. We're thinking about doing hibachi, too. We're like, shit, if Woo's house is open, let's hit up Woo's house.
Yeah, that'd be dope. That'd be really dope. My thing is kids. I think y'all got a kid-free day tomorrow.
Yes, that we do.
Yeah.
But welcome to Lights, Camera, Action. Like I said, episode 4. Hold on 1 second because I'm about to say something. I gotta you know how on Sunday dinner we do a show on Sunday nights called Sunday Dinner at 8ish Central Time at night, and we just introduced streaming live to Instagram. So we're gonna do the same thing here tonight. So you guys can
Instagram.
Yeah. You guys could head over to Vill and Radio Network on YouTube, Vill and Radio, Vill and Radio on Instagram, and watch us there. Got to go live right now. You just got landscape mode on your phone, and you're gonna be good. But that should be popping up any second. I believe we're live now on Instagram. So anyway, let's get to the shits. The major focal point of today's episode is Ghostbusters Afterlife. This was my most anticipated movie of the year for obvious reasons. I just turned 41. I'm nostalgic for the 80s, and Ghostbusters is one of my favorite all-time movies. So to have the franchise return to its roots and canon, because they forgot all about the 2016 reboot version with all the bitches. Now, ladies, if you're watching, when I say bitches, I mean that it's a term of endearment. I love y'all. But I didn't like it, and not because it was women. Like it was acted. They all played their parts very well. It's not what I was looking for. I'm not looking for a multiverse Ghostbusters. Okay, I want.
But Chris Hemsworth, Thor himself, was a focal point of the movie and in the movie.
I don't need Thor fucking parading his ass around in tight pants for the whole movie. Yeah, that's not what I want to watch.
Come on, man. He was man meat. You had all the women, and then the women had that man meat there.
That, you know what? That's exactly what it was. Like it was. It was it was the exact opposite of what it was in fucking in '84. But let's get to it. I went and seen it on Thursday. The opening showings. I was in Portage at 4 o'clock. Fucking high as hell. Got my fucking pretzel bites and my cheese curds and my Dr Pepper. I went sat down, and I got there early because I was like, they might actually show a couple trailers, which they did. It was like, remember when we talked about Eternals? Like I sat down and the movie fucking started. So
Right.
this was like a regular theater experience. It probably had about 50 people in there. It wasn't too packed, but there was more people than what I thought. And they are all older, like myself, I guess you could say. But I finished the fucking cheese curds right away because you don't want those motherfuckers getting cold.
Facts.
So
Cold cheese curds are horrible.
no, and then the movie started.
Culvers.
Now the movie clocked in about 2 hours and 4 minutes, and there's mid credits and end credit scenes, so you got to stay around for it all. And everybody was there like just ready. Everybody was quiet. Nobody had their phones out. My anxiety was like going crazy. Like, all right, like just play the fucking movie. Like, let's get this shit started. I've been waiting for like a year with the pushbacks because of the pandemic for this fucking movie to come out, and here I am. Fucking my high's almost gone because I fucking smashed the cheese curds. Let's go. So the movie starts, and just the beginning of the movie, like fucking the nostalgic fucking adrenaline juices started just flowing. Um, there's a lot of things that I thought were gonna happen in the movie. And I knew they were gonna have to touch on Egon at some point because we know that the movie is dealing with his family, his descendants, his daughter and his grandkids. But I didn't know how influential he was going to be in it. Seeing that he died and it's fucking a Ghostbusters movie, you think there's a good chance that he could be in it the whole fucking movie because he's a ghost, right?
Right.
So with the way it started with him, and I like the way that they portrayed him without showing his face. Like that whole what it was like a 3 minute opening sequence.
Mm-hmm.
The whole 3 minute opening sequence was fucking like it was perfect. They did it perfectly. You know, they without giving away too much, and without being a little disrespectful with it to Harold Ramis's memory. So like his face was totally obscured. So that there was some kind of body double for that one. And we'll get to the big reveal later on in this conversation. But just the way everything was set up, like that first 3 minute sequence set the tone for the movie, and I was hyped. Like I was hyped. I was bouncing around in my chair, like, ooh, come on, leaning forward, like, yeah, come on. like that first 3 minute shit was it. And him taunting, what was what set it off for me too, because even though he's like Egon had to he got to get a little pissed off to stand up for himself,
Mm-hmm.
like take the Ghostbusters one when they're in the mayor's office. It takes him a little fucking oh
Before
no,
he
not the
starts
mayor's
going
office.
off.
Yeah,
Not that was the
yeah, in the streets when the
mm-hmm.
fucking when they shut off the power grid. So it takes a little while. So for him, he's in the whole opening 3 minutes of this fucking movie. Like Egon's gangster as fuck. Like he's on a mission, and the end part before he goes in the house, and he's taunting, and he tries to trap it. That's the thing. At first, I was like, I didn't put two and two together that his whole fucking property was a trap at first. Okay, I thought maybe the stills and everything that he had all hooked up. I was thinking maybe that was just one big proton pack at first.
Right. That's the same exact thing I thought when I first saw it.
That's what I was getting for it, and it was drawing too much energy, so he couldn't shoot. So then when it kind of disappeared and he went and sat down, I was like, no, that ended a little too easily. That's
Mm-hmm.
And then, bro, just to fucking tie in with him sitting in the chair, and the way that fucking the fucking what's the proper name for those things?
Beats the fuck out of me.
I mean, they've been called demon dogs all throughout the first movie. Like everybody called them something different.
Yeah, because they were the. My problem was I felt like it's different versions of them. I felt like the key holders were a different version. You know what I'm saying? I almost feel like they're different breeds depending on what their stature is. Almost like levels in like police or something, like colonels, captains. Like they each have a different name.
See, I'm the opposite. I'm thinking that they're the same ones every time, just possessing another person. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking it is.
From my quick Google search, they're called terror dogs.
Terror dogs. I like demon dogs better, but whatever. Terror dogs. We could fuck with that.
It's Zul the gatekeeper and Vince Clortho the keymaster.
Vince Clortho, yes.
So Zul and Vince.
Zul and Vince. So I don't know what grabbed Egon, but Egon was grabbed the same way that Sigourney Weaver's Dana Barrett's character was grabbed in the chair in the first Ghostbusters. And then, but he's not possessed. They killed this motherfucker.
Like, after all he's done, he's gonna bite the dust.
like, bro, they weren't even like they're not even playing around. Okay, they're just like that was it.
Wah, wah, wah. That's what he saw.
Yeah, so he's dead. So him being dead, and then it kind of just goes right into fucking the pacing. The pacing of the movie was pretty good. They had I was worried about it because it only clocked in at 2 hours and 3 minutes, and there was I thought a lot of stuff that they're gonna have to pack in there. You know, this is the first sequel since 1989. What the fuck happened to who and there and where, when, who's gonna be in it? When are the old motherfuckers gonna show up? Like, and me, there's been so many scripts written, and I know about all the scripts written, and I know bits and pieces from the scripts that have been written thus far. So I didn't know what was gonna fucking make it from any of the old ones. If Jason Reitman fucking took anything from the earlier drafts that Dan Aykroyd did, or what. So I was waiting for all types of shit to happen. But
that and the game that they wrote, considering they couldn't get, you know what I'm saying, moving, they wrote that Ghostbusters game that is highly underrated and that everybody who's a fan of Ghostbusters should play.
What can you play it on now, though?
You can actually Xbox, PlayStation, because it was the Xbox 360 PlayStation 4 game. So it's downloadable, you know what I'm saying, on the new systems. You just download it and play it. I might even do a fucking stream of that because that game is fucking awesome.
What about if you don't have a new system?
You could Xbox 360,
Xbox One,
PlayStation 4,
backwards compatible. I can download it.
It's backwards compatible.
I might have to download it after the show.
Hold up, let me make sure. So go ahead and keep talking.
let me make sure. But like straight after that opening sequence, they like jet straight to present day, wherever the fuck Egon's daughter's at.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to say I don't know if they like said where they were. Did it? I'm not
I don't remember saying what they were. I was too interested in watching her mannerisms, her being, you know what I'm saying, her mannerisms without knowing who her grandfather was, actually acting just like her grandfather. Yeah, that's what was crazy to me. You don't interact with the dude, but you act just like him.
Yeah, some shit's hereditary, you know.
Yeah.
So I do shit that fucking I didn't spend a lot of time with my dad growing up, but fucking I do some shit that, you know, my dad did, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how do I even know this shit?
Yeah, but, it's on there too, bro. It's PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 3, and all that good shit.
Yeah, it just says they are evicted from their city apartment. So basically, the whole premise of the movie is Egon leaves his farm in Summerville, Oklahoma, to his daughter. His daughter, Callie, has 2 kids, played marvelously by fucking Finn Wolfhard and McKenna Grace. Like these kids, like we know Finn Wolfhard could act because He's been great in Stranger Things. McKenna Grace, no slouch either. Everything she's been in, she's killed.
Facts.
So uh, it picks up in the city. It just says in the city. You automatically assume it's New York City because that's where the Ghostbusters were. But it also could be Chicago, or Philadelphia, or
it could be a bunch of different places. They can make cities look like anything.
But it was but it was definitely Midwest, East Coastish. But for the sake of it, we'll say New York because that's where the Ghostbusters are from. So she's trying to get out the house to. She knows her dad's died. She got the word that her dad had passed, left her this fucking house. So they're trying to go to the house, do what they got to do, basically sell it, whatever, get the money, come back and catch up on the rent. Because it's kind of similar to how fucking in the first iteration Sam Raimi's fucking Spider-Man, where Peter Parker's dodging the fucking landlord because he ain't got the money to pay. That's what she's trying to do. She opens the door. There's the landlord trying to evict her, and he's like, she's trying to get a little more extension. So when long enough for her to get to Oklahoma, get some money, get back. He ain't having it. So she fucking basically got to pack up some shit and head to Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
She don't even tell the kids until at a later time that they got evicted. So it's like, hey, check it out. We're in Oklahoma. They get there. It's a small town. Of course, it wasn't shot in Oklahoma. They shot the whole majority of movie in Calgary, Alberta, and the surrounding areas.
And I think that's one of the reasons, the fact that they didn't shoot anywhere where used to shooting, because that's one of the things I think the CW shows benefit from is shooting in Canada.
Tax breaks crazy.
Tax breaks, and you don't get a lot of leaks. Like, you don't get something unless you want, they want you to have it. So there was a lot of this movie that didn't, we didn't get all the steals. Like, you forgot about the movie for a little bit because there wasn't any hype about the movie. And I think that did the movie good. You know what I'm saying? That we didn't have to sit there like we're doing with Spider-Man. Where's the fucking trailer? Where's it at? Because it's that constant reminder that the movie's coming. And that's what I feel like, you get it, and then it's a good movie.
Yep.
And I feel like that just does better for the movie itself.
It was, and anybody knows Canada fucking geography, fucking Calgary is like in the middle of fucking nowhere. Mm-hmm. So it that kind of even better also. But it was they get there, they're driving through the town, they stop at this burger joint, all that shit, like a little like an old school. Well, it's an old school. Actually, they go to the house first, I think, don't they? Anyway, The house is creepy. Just looking at the house, they pull up to the house and they're like, "What the fuck?" Basically, like Callie, Egon's daughter, is like, "What the hell did he leave me?" Finn Wolfhaller's character is like, this is where we're gonna be. I can't wait to go home. And McKenna Grace's character is just like, she's kind of indifferent. Like, she's kind of open for the adventure, and she likes the fact that she's going somewhere where nobody knows her because she don't really like where her life where she's at. McKenna Grace plays Phoebe Spangler. Finn Wolfhard plays Trevor Spangler. Carrie Coon, who I didn't know before, plays the mom, Callie. Paul Rudd plays summer school teacher. Gary Gruberson, he plays it very well. I was very impressed by Logan Kim as Podcast, the character Podcast. We'll get into him in a second, but they're exploring the house and shit like that.
I'm gonna be totally honest with you. Move on. That is the greatest nickname ever. It's just like, I can't, like, if I'd have thought about it, like doing podcast, I would just name my nickname would have just been Podcast. It'd have been NerdMix. You know what I'm saying? Like, I am NerdMix Alpha, but I'm Podcast. And now because he has that name, it just seems like I'm jocking.
Yep. Yeah, but it's from the moment they get in the house, there's an eerie feeling at the house. And like I said, like I'm waiting, I'm anxiety on high because, like I said, there's no leaks. A lot of times I'm going into the theater, I'm going into the movies, and I kind of know what's going to happen. So I'm just waiting to see how they piece it together. All I knew is the old ass motherfucking Ghostbuster motherfuckers were going to pop up at some point.
Right.
And that's all I knew. So I liked it. in a way because it was exciting, but my anxiety did not like it that it was because I had to wait for that excitement. So, um, just waiting for any sign of Egon or whatever, and the fact that the opening sequence of them getting to the house, that Annie Potts, Janine Milner's character popped up, throwback to the first two movies, and I like that she kind of been helping Egon along, throughout the years, paying his bills and shit like that, because you come to learn that he wasn't doing anything but figuring out how to save the world. So, I would have liked to know more what happened to Rick Moranis' character, what happened to Louis Tully. I would like to know if Janine and Egon had, if they were romantic, or she was just still sexually harassing him. Because now, after watching the first movie again last night, she was kind of on that borderline sexual harassing him thing.
It's something we definitely couldn't get away with now. Definitely
But
couldn't get away with that now.
a lot of these 80s movies do not fucking age well at all. At all. But they get there, and I like how McKenna Grace was so attentive to everything going on around her in the house, and there it was. She finds the PKE meter. And that is one of the keys to the movie. I like going back to when Egon, the beginning sequence of the movie, when Egon was left the mountain, running away from the mountain, got to his house, and he's in the junk drawer trying to find a PKE meter like it's a fucking remote control. Like it was literally a junk drawer, and he had to go through all that shit to get to the bottom of the junk drawer before he even pulled it out. And that shit was fucking hilarious. That's so like Midwestern type shit. Everybody got that junk drawer. And saying it's supposed to take place in Oklahoma. That's kind of what I would say.
Yeah, but it wasn't any Twinkie. It should have been Twinkies in the junk drawer, dog. Like it should have been a Twinkie from like 1984 that was just pristine, nothing wrong with it, that was still edible.
Yeah. So, I like how she got that PKE meter, and she took fucking she was really took a hold of it, and it took a hold of her, if you know what I mean. And I like the throwback, the books, the stack of books in the living room, the throwback nod to the first movie when they're in the library and the fucking books were all stacked up. I like that shit. Just a little detail connecting everything and the gaps and everything was fucking awesome.
Now, do you feel like, okay, for me and you, that's something that, because the movie it's been so long, just knowing that it's a nod to the source material that came out for the sequel, because it's not like back to back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where you get some of these movies that come out 3 years apart and it's just copy and paste. You know what I'm saying? I felt like this did the nostalgia thing well without staying too much in the past, because a lot of people saying that it was too much nostalgia, too much living in the past that actually slowed the movie down and made the movie bad. I felt like it was just enough to build for the future, considering if you think of it as not a direct sequel, you know what I'm saying, but a new series of movies that are coming, you know what I'm saying, and building the basis for what the future is. You need a little bit of that oldness to let new fans understand why you should be connected with this, or, you know what I'm saying, get them to go back to watch the older movies to be like, oh, that, you know what I'm saying, that's what that means. But that's the only hate that I've been seeing. A lot of people been saying it's great until it's derailed by gratuitous fan service. No, that's not fan service. It's just good writing. They understand what the concept is.
They have to it had to be the way it was, because you got to think, if Harold Ramis didn't die, the movie wouldn't have been what we have it. It would have been the four OGs a little bit more active and still passing the baton, so to speak, but they would have been more active. So just having the way it had to be written because of his death and him not being, with him not being able to be fully involved in it, they had to leave those clues and those throwback and those nods to the past, especially when it's supposed to be a sequel, you know?
Right.
So you gotta tell the you gotta know your history to get to your future. So I thought it was just enough. I thought it was just enough. I thought it was done fucking I thought it was done flawlessly. It like I said, it was paced very well. And just McKenna Grace as Phoebe Spangler is insane. She played the role fucking perfectly. It was, and you could tell she evoked the spirit of Egon. It was dope. She was real fucking real smart. Knows all types of shit. Look what she was doing at their apartment and shit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Fucking with the wiring,
It,
electrical and shit.
it was nuts. It was really a lot of good character building in this movie. Um, just the whole town of Somerville, I felt like was a whole nother character. You know what I'm saying? In the movie, the town was alive. Things that were going on made a good fitting of what's going on. Because the best movies that you see, wherever you're at, feels like it's alive too. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
when you go back there, you're excited about it. Because like let's say the next movie comes out and they're somewhere like you said in New York or they're
Yep.
in Philadelphia or something like that, and then they end up going back to Somerville. You get excited because they go back there.
Exactly. Um, yeah, it was the I think they will. We'll get into that after the end credit scene. But just the way everything unfolded, she found a PKE meter that led her to the fucking trap. She found the fucking ghost trap, and she's finding this. Her brother's in the fucking barn. He finds Ecto One. This motherfucker, he takes it upon himself that he wants to fix this car up and shit. They go into town to the hamburger joint. He meets his little lady friend Lucky.
Mm-hmm.
Gets a job there. Trying to cement himself as locals after Callie broke the news that guess what, they got evicted and they're staying there now. So, but while all this is happening, um, the town is becoming a little more creepy. I guess you could say there's the town's being struck by earthquakes, unexplained earthquakes, no fault lines anywhere, no volcanoes anywhere. Every day there's a fucking earthquake. They don't know why. They don't know what's going on. It's just happening. Um, the PKE meter also leads Phoebe to a underground laboratory, I guess you could say, that's accessed by a fireman's pole, which is another fucking throwback and nod to the original two movies where
Mm-hmm.
fucking, that's it was in a firehouse, Ghostbusters headquarters, was in a firehouse.
How who was it? I can't because I always mess their names up, man. It wasn't Peter. It wasn't happy as hell when they found that fire pole. When it was like, it's got
Oh,
a
it was
fire.
Ray. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it
was
was
Ray.
Ray.
Yeah,
It's
Ray
got
Stantz.
it's got a pole. It's got a fireman's pole, and it slid down. We'll take it.
Yep. And it's like we should stay at night here, to test it out. Yeah, he mortgaged his family house for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I rewatched it last night. But yeah, it's she finds the underground lab and it got the flight suits in the cabinet. You got a fucking proton pack. You got all the computers, all that shit. Even got the little. It even has the machine that was they were carrying out of their office when the dean kicked them out of Columbia University in the first film. That's even in that laboratory. You
Mm.
know. So, um, everybody's doing their own thing. She's getting into discovering the laboratory. Finn's character, Trevor, is starting to work at the fucking little thing. Um, and then summer school. Um, they go to summer school. So Phoebe's teacher is Paul Rudd's character, Mr. Greg Gruberson.
Who was
Uh,
excellent.
bro, Not only was he excellent, but just that name alone is like a 1980s movie name. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
But he's the substitute, not the substitute, but the summer school teacher that Phoebe's character has, or McKenna Grace's character Phoebe has. And his idea of summer school is he wheels a fucking TV, like an old school TV cart, VHS and everything, and he plays a movie. The first day, boom, Cujo. And the kids are like, yeah, whatever. And Phoebe's character is like, what's going on? What do you mean? We're about to watch Cujo, you know? So it's
Another underrated movie.
yeah,
Cujo.
it's up until this point, it's like following the same beats that a stereotypical 80s movie would. And it was fucking great. And Jason Reitman did it flawlessly. I like each scene, I was like, okay, it's just the right amount of nostalgia with, new generation of actors. So, why they're in school, motherfucking, earthquake hits and shit, so it's crazy what the earthquakes turned out to be. That's kind of crazy. But Trevor and the people from the what's the name of the place? I forget the name of the place. But Trevor and the people from the little sock hop burger joint motherfucking place, they take him to the hangout spot. Basically, it's on top of a mountain. Creepy ass mountain. Creepy as shit. And here's where it ties into the first movie. The mountain is owned by a rich guy named what was the name? Ivo, whatever, fucking Shandor. And he designed a building and built a building in New York, and he kind of started this town with his mine and shit. So this is kind of the gateway. He had his cult, trying to take over the world. That's how all the shit came about in the first Ghostbusters, the driving force behind all the evil and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So this is where he went. This is where he mined that weird metal that he was able to build that building with in New York to act as a gateway. So as Lucky and Trevor are sitting on like the swing on top of the mountain, like it kind of starts rumbling, kind of hearing shit, and so they jump off, and fucking it's like literally fucking rumbling, and this motherfucker look in it, and it says Zool. As soon as it said Zool, and just the outline of the fucking tear dog's face, and hearing it say Zool, like all the hair on my arm stood up, and like every fucking ounce of fucking nostalgic magic fucking like overtook me, and I felt like I was motherfucking like 9, 10 years old again. It was crazy. And it just every time I didn't think it could get any better, boom, the next scene had just the right amount of throwback and nostalgia mixed in with new school shit. Right. Time after time after time again.
Perfect mix of elements to keep you interested in what's going on, because the minute you felt like, oh, come on, it hit you with something that had you feel. It made a connection that brought your interest back. And it seemed like they knew exactly the time, you know what I'm saying, to do it. Like whoever cut this movie and put it together, cut it perfectly to keep everybody enthused, because the new stuff, anybody who ain't seen the movie before is going to be interested to start off with because they're trying to figure out what's going on. Yeah. Us who are fans of Ghostbusters, just movie watchers in general, we tend to lose interest in anything quickly. And they did very well in garnering your interest, even with like the funny stuff, like when the mini Stay Puffs, you know what I'm saying?
Bro, like that was the best. Because they weren't, you don't think they're a threat, but they're little fucking annoying little assholes.
Mm-hmm. Man, I almost said like, you know how Last Christmas was all Grogu?
Yeah.
I feel like if enough kids saw this,
if they did it right,
mass marketing, like everybody be wanting a little mini Stay Puff.
Hey, I'd get one.
Like they should have packaged marshmallows, you know what I'm saying, shaped like Stay Puffs in bags. like for you know what I'm saying, roasting and stuff like that, dude. Like I feel like they missed out on like a whole mass marketing campaign when it came to that.
Um, if done right, but they didn't. Sony didn't handle this movie as well they should have, and it's probably not totally their fault because of the pandemic and everything like that. But they missed out on a lot of marketing shit and shit like that. Definitely, definitely, with all types of shit. So it's, but I got to see it. It did fucking $40 million, $44 million first weekend. You know, it did more than what it was projected to do. Um, and it's just I'm gonna say it like 100 times while we're talking about it. I fucking loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, getting back to it, fucking as fucking Finn's character and Lucky see the fucking the apparition or whatever inside the hole, the fucking mountain volcano, whatever the fuck it is, technically. Um, this is the same time that fucking Phoebe is cementing her relationship with podcast, and she, you know, she shows him the fucking they got the scene, you know, first she shows him the trap, then she shows Mr. fucking Gruberson the trap, and this is when fucking all hell breaks loose. You know, this what sets everything, you know, what sets everything off in the movie. Fucking they opened the trap.
Mm-hmm.
They literally hooked the trap up to a fucking like bus battery and open it, and then the spirit that wasn't there, it starts from there. Right there, starts from there. Um, After they clean up their mess, Gruberson takes the kids back to um, Phoebe's house, Egon's house, the farmhouse, the dirt farmer. The locals called Egon the dirt farmer because all he was doing was doing shit in the dirt. They couldn't figure out what the fuck he was doing. You know, he was doing something really important, but they didn't know what the
Mm-hmm.
fuck it was. They just thought he was crazy. So this is Gruberson's little second little interaction with Miss Spangler, Callie, when he takes him off, and all that was pretty good too. You know, like each scene set up everything worked well. You know.
It definitely did, man. It was just an amazing way that they set this up, and it's honestly nothing bad I could say about the movie. And the only thing I might say is that it kept me, and it's probably a good thing. I was waiting for that third act. You know what I'm saying? At times, I felt like it took too long to get to that third act for the payoff. That was it. But I enjoyed the experience of learning these characters. You know what I'm saying, and sitting with them.
Yeah, yeah, and they built each one up pretty well.
They really did.
With the short amount of time. Like I thought the movie could have pushed, you know, 2 hour 45 minutes, and I would have sat with it because I was pleased with what I saw, and I would have been happy with more, you know. But after they released the thing from the trap, which was one of the fucking one of the tear dogs, and it goes back to the mine. That's when fucking the ghost of Egon leads Phoebe to the underground lab. Um,
Mm-hmm.
this is where she realizes that this ghost is her grandfather, because ever since they got to the farmhouse, this ghost has been fucking with her. Like started off by playing chess with her. You know, she got this chessboard next to her game. They're playing chess, you know, and not just at first. It was like she moved, made a move, she went to sleep, woke up, boom, and then it went to like, even though she's awake, the ghost is playing with her right there, like in real time shit. So she gets to the underground lair. She figures out the ghost is her deceased grandfather, Egon Spangler, the former
Mm-hmm.
Ghostbuster, and that's when he kind of guides her. He guides her to the equipment. He fucking he guides her to fix the proton pack. is what it is. The proton pack wasn't like working, so he helps her fix the proton pack. She checks everything out. She's in awe. She's like, "What the fuck?" And before this, like when they're hanging out with Gruberson, like Gruberson, like was like an expert at a Manhattan, the New York ghost shit. So that's when they put two in, like she knew who her grandfather was and shit like that. So she fixed the protons pack, and the next day, her and Podcast tested. So they're just like on the farm. She got a fucking nuclear accelerator strapped to her fucking back, and boom, she starts fucking. They set up bottles. She's shooting fucking bottles with a fucking proton pack. And then they're like, "Did I get it? Yeah, everything's on fire."
But it was an amazing moment though, man.
Yeah, because you're waiting, and after like the CGI was great with the streams, especially after watching original Ghostbusters last night. I was like, oh my god, like Slimer looks so horrible. Like
he really did. Like everything when you look at where CG is now and back then, think about how amazed we were. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At that movie and everything, and where it's at now.
Yeah, it's that's kind of when the Ghostbusting started because they found Muncher.
Mm-hmm.
Muncher is kind of like the new version of Slimer, but instead of just eating food, he eats like metal, like just eat metal and shit like that. They tested. They encounter Muncher. He escapes and flees into Somerville. And then Phoebe like tells her brother, like Trevor Finn Wolfhard's characters, like, "Yo, like, our grandfather was a Ghostbuster. Like, that's what he wasn't crazy like we thought. Whatever, he was like working on something. Like, he was a Ghostbuster. Like, this is what the business is, and now we got to go get this ghost." So Finn's Wolfhard character, Trevor has fixed the Ecto-1, and he already kind of like took it out for a spin, you know.
And Ecto-1 looked good too, man. That nostalgia is starting up.
Yep. They he had took it drifting in like the cornfields to test it out, but ended up parking back, you know. But anyway, they took it out. They fucking they hop into Ecto-1 podcast, fucking Phoebe and Trevor driving, and they're flying around town chasing this Muncher ghost. Now check it out. This is Ecto-1, but not the Ecto-1 that we're used to. Like, it's been modified by Egon for like the next generation. Like there's a pop out chair. Like Phoebe was sitting in the seat. She hit there's a lever. The fucking door flies open. Hit the lever again. It fucking throws the fucking chair out, so you can fucking spin around, be shooting motherfucking ghosts, you know, in any direction that you have to.
It kind of reminded me of like how Iron Man, like everything he knew that went wrong, how he was updating or creating something to withstand that. Like how he saw what happened to War Machine, so he decided to put a parachute in Spider-Man suit. You know what I'm saying? Different stuff like that. Like Egon was preparing for every issue they ever had and was just updating stuff.
Yeah, that's exactly what it seems like. And he did it well. And they had an updated trap that was like a fucking RC car trap, like an all-terrain RC car, because they had big ass beefy tires, and Podcast was controlling that. So Trevor driving, fucking Phoebe's characters in the fucking in the jump chair, fucking up the whole town. She's fucking proton streams through fucking marquees, fucking setting buildings on fire, shit like that. And fucking Podcast got the fucking the trap go through the trap door, and he's controlling it with the fucking remote control and shit like that, trying to catch this ghost. But they're doing a whole bunch of damage, and they end up getting pulled over.
Why wouldn't they? I mean, it's kids running around driving a car.
Yeah, they get the fucking ghost. They catch Muncher. You know, But the police arrest him for property damage. They confiscated the car and all the other gear, the proton pack, everything that was in there. Phoebe wants her phone call, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bokeem Woodbine plays the fucking sheriff or the chief of police or whatever. I think it's the sheriff. And his tie-in is his daughter is Lucky, the chick that works at the burger joint that Finn Wolfhard's crushing on. So he makes that fucking funny thing. She's like, "Can I get my phone call? I get a phone call, right?" And he looks at her. He's like, "Who are you gonna call?" Cheesy as fuck, but hilarious. Right at the perfect time for a little fucking comedic beat. I loved it. I laughed. So she goes. He takes her into the room, gives her the phone. He leaves the room. She pulls a piece of paper out of the pocket. Boom, dials it. She's calling Ray Stantz, OG Ghostbuster. He has it. The his little store comes up. If you remember, Ghostbusters 2, he has a store called Ray's Occult Bookstore, that don't really make any money, but he's there. The phone's ringing, and he's looking at it. It's a red phone, kind of like how Commissioner Gordon's old school bat phone is in the '60s TV show. It's just a red phone. He knows what that phone is, and he's just looking at it, kind of hesitant to answer it. But he finally answers it. And then Phoebe starts explaining everything. And as much as he wants to hang up, he don't. And the only reason the call ends is because the sheriff, chief police, whatever, Bokeem Woodbine comes in and hangs up the phone. And that kind of gets Ray like, oh shit, what the fuck's going on type thing. And then they leave Ray to whatever he's doing next up to our imagination as we go back, where the kids come and they get out. The parents come. The mom? Yeah, the mom. What he explains Egon's team out doubted his belief. Hey, that whole conversation between her and Ray was cool because it told us what happened, why Egon was out there by himself, what happened to the Ghostbusters and all that shit. Now it made Egon seem like a fucking asshole because he straight jacked a bunch of shit and left.
Mm-hmm. But just try, you know what I'm saying? Just trying to keep his people safe and not having them, you know what I'm saying, having to do interfere with nothing, have to do any shit. You know what I'm saying? It's understandable. When you really understand what's going on, you understand why he did what he did.
Yeah. But yeah, this motherfucking Egon straight stole the car, the fucking gear, fucking isotope, and just jetted and headed to fucking Oklahoma. So that's what happened to Ghostbusters, basically. And Ray got some venting out. I hope he felt a little bit better for venting to Egon's granddaughter. But anyway, they get out. Trevor, Phoebe, Lucky, and Podcast. They go do some digging. They find a temple inside that mountain. That's what it is. It's the gateway to hell, as they say. At least to the paranormal side, anyway, the paranormal world. And let's see what happens next. I'm trying to remember. They basically find I think that's when they find out. They find Ivo Shandor's body there. It's just like in this. It's not even like a casket. It's like just like in a piece of glass container, like, hey, here's, and he don't look dead, like, because he supposedly died years ago, long ass time ago, and he's just in the motherfucker looking alive, just like he's in like suspended animation or some shit. That's what I got from it anyway.
Exactly what I got from it too.
Yeah. And basically the earthquakes happened because the spirits try to get out every day. And when they come past a certain point, a sensor hits and 4 proton packs fucking automatically turn on by the motion sensor and start shooting the spirits. So it drives them back down, and that causes the earthquakes. So the earthquakes every day are because Egon's protecting the fucking universe, the world. Right. And this whole time, people just thought he was crazy.
Geniuses are always looked at as crazy though. That's the whole thing about it.
uh let's see. And you know what I didn't put together? I should have put this together, the two and two together, but I didn't. Um the relationship between Callie and Mr. Gruberson. They go
Mm-hmm.
out on a date and everything. They kind of hit it off, whatever. But I didn't I didn't put two and two together that they would be the ones that would be possessed as Vince Corthrow and Zool, the gatekeeper. One was, fucking one of the fucking tear dogs fucking possessed fucking Gruberson into being the keymaster, and the other one possesses Callie into the gatekeeper. And it was really fucking just like fucking Rick Moranis
Right.
and
Yep.
and Sigourney Weaver.
Should have got that
Perfectly.
off bat. You know what I'm saying?
Perfectly, especially when they come home to the house and they see that Callie's possessed, and they're like, "Mom, mom," and she's like, "There's no mom. There's only Zool." Soon as that happened, I was like, "Oh shit! Oh shit!" Just like I said, fucking four times before, and I'll say it again. Perfect mix of nostalgia and the new generation.
And
Fucking.
why does my homie always get to play alongside beautiful women? I'm just saying, like every role he's ever been in, he always gets a beautiful counterpart.
Yeah.
So
But they're possessed and they go meet up at the mountain. They fuck. You know what happens. We're adults here. They fuck. They get it on. They even reference it later in the movie. Later on in the movie, after everything's over. Um, but it's let's go back to how Paul Rudd's Gruberson is possessed by the terror dog, if you want to call it possessed. What he eats them and takes them over his body or whatever it is. Anyway, he's shopping at the store. And that's where we see the little mini Stay Puffs. Gruberson's character shopping at the store. He's in the little would be probably the baking aisle because that's where the marshmallows are at fucking Walmart and every other store I go to. And they got miniature marshmallows and they pop out the bag and it's the fucking Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Like we were
mm-hmm.
talking about earlier with the whole marketing thing. And these fucking things are cute as fuck. They're
Very
annoying and they're evil, but they're cute.
opposite of Grogu.
Yeah. So it was dope. But he's walking through the store like a Walmart type thing, I guess, because he walks upon a terror dog who's just eating dog food. And the terror dog fucking sees him and fucking goes after him. Fucking Gruberson gets out of the fucking store and into his car, but that's as far as he gets because that's when the dog takes his ass.
And the crazy thing is that's what you see in the trailer, but you would have never known. You know what I'm saying? Like the way it's cut in the trailer, you thought he
Yeah,
just ran into something. He was running from it.
exactly. It could have been any type of ghost. But back they do their little fucking and all that shit. And as this stuff is happening, um um the keymaster Gruberson destroys the fucking Egon's trap for Gozer that's keeping Gozer in the fucking ground volcano fucking hell hole in the earth whatever you want to fucking call it the other side whatever. So as Gozer's trying to come up, the fucking the streams start hitting him or her, it, whatever it is, and then fucking Gruberson as a keymaster is slowly ripping one out of position where it shuts down the whole fucking little system and allows Gozer and all types of other fucking spirits to come out. That's when it's reminiscent to the scene in the first one where there's fucking ghosts everywhere, like the ghost cab driver. Except in this one, it's a ghost fucking customer fucking at the diner getting coffee poured in his cup before the waitress realizes that it's a fucking ghost.
Ghost. Mm-hmm.
But as this
Eh,
all this
the music
happens,
too. The blend of the
yeah,
music was something new and something old. You know what I'm saying? As these scenes are emerging, was perfect.
yep. Um, uh, the Keymaster fucking destroys the containment system, allowing Gozer to manifest and Shandor to awaken. Wherein Gozer kills Shandor. Okay, kills Shandor. The kids discover basically what the plan was to trap Gozer. Now this goes back to at the farmhouse. Okay, all the shit at the farmhouse. What I thought were the big ass proton thing on the stills weren't were really that. What it was is a power generator, and there's traps all over. It's he wasn't making a dirt farm. He was clearing everything so it wouldn't grow, so he could plant traps, making the whole place one giant ghost trap.
Mm-hmm.
So Gozer comes in the beginning of the movie where Egon was trying to get it. What would happen is all those traps would go and be so powerful that would tear the ghost apart and take little pieces of that spirit in each individual trap. Um, they discovered a plan, and this is when it starts happening. Got the little 80s music going playing. Bro, the score to this fucking movie was awesome. The like everything was perfectly done. Like I it's crazy. Like the right part of nostalgia and the right part of fucking new generation. Even when Vakeman first went to Dana Barrett's apartment in the first one, he did the little key the key piano thing,
Mm-hmm.
There was even fucking a little score with those sounds in the movie at certain points. So anyway, the kids put on the fucking flight suits, man. Fucking they get the gear, they get into they're like, how do we get done? How do we get this shit done? You know how they get it done? They go break a ghost out of fucking jail. Okay? Like the people don't understand what they do. Like that, why you gonna break a ghost out? But they go to the jail and they fucking break Muncher out. So Muncher eats his way out of the jail cell and they could get a proton pack and everything that was confiscated. And they get Ecto 1 and they go save the motherfucking day.
That it was actually a very brilliant move.
Yeah. And
And you know what that reminded me of? That reminded me of using ectoplasm to animate the Statue of Liberty
yep,
in order to get to where they needed to go.
exactly. Exactly. So I just found out fucking like 3 days ago that fucking Olivia Wilde played fucking Gozer. Did you know that?
I didn't know that, but I loved it.
Yeah, I didn't know that, but now I do. So anyway, Gozer and them get out the temple, and they basically go to the farm, the dirt farm, Egon's farm, where the kids are trying to fight them, and it's just not working. And just when you think something bad's about to happen, you hear out from the distance. I forget what the exact fucking words were, but he was like, "Hey, flat top," and it was fucking Bill Murray's Peter Venkman voice. I've been waiting the
Mm-hmm.
whole movie exactly when these motherfuckers were going to show up, but here they were. Now, I wish they showed up a little bit earlier, but they came in at the right time, and they were ready to rumble. But it wasn't going to be as easy as it was in New York. So these guys fucking hit their fucking proton packs. They fucking cross the stream because they know that's what they got to do to beat this fucking bitch because they already done it before. But that don't work because motherfucking goes are stronger this time. This bitch
Way stronger.
This bitch separates the streams and sends these motherfuckers flying, with a power surge. And these motherfuckers, like Bill Murray, fucking knew exactly when to inject his humor, just like he did in the first two. And they did everything was dope. Now here came the part, um, um, what really got me, because Phoebe starts battling Goza herself. Okay, and she's having trouble. And this is what got me. Here's when it happened. I've been waiting for it the whole movie. I knew eventually it might happen. Egon's ghost manifested to a fucking CGI holographic fucking Harold Ramis that was fucking done great. It looked fucking great.
Way better than the Luke Skywalker in The Mandalorian.
Way better. Way better. So Phoebe is hitting Gozer with the proton pack with assistance from Egon. He hugs her, puts his arms around her, grabs a proton pack with her, and they're fucking getting Gozer. And the other Ghostbusters get up, and each one of them start hitting their streams, and they're starting to overpower Gozer. And that's when Trevor charges the trap with his proton pack. You know, he hits trap, fucking gives it enough juice, and all those traps are triggered. All the ones that are buried in the dirt. And that traps Gozer and all the minions that got out to the fucking thing too. So after that's all said and done, Egon's ghost kind of reconciles and approaches, everybody, his family and friends before he basically vanishes into the afterlife. And it's crazy because when he first showed up and was helping Phoebe with Phoebe with the stream, Bill Murray's Peter Venkman character was like, I was wondering when you were going to show up, and because they didn't talk for a long time, they buried the hatchet. They had beef for a while. They buried the hatchet while Harold was on his deathbed, like not too long, like before he died. So, but yeah, that soon as he popped up on the screen, I cried. It was like, there's, sometimes in movies it's building up, so you might cry and you get that little lump in your throat. Your body's kind of trying to fight it because your body don't know why it's trying to cry or anything like that. But no, there was nothing of that. It was just Egon helping Phoebe with the proton pack and tears coming down my face. That's it. And it was done great. It was good to see the guys and everything like that. I like how the guys talk to the kids a little bit, and then the movie's basically over. They return to New York City with Ecto 1 Indy equipment. And then the movie ends. So you think, but that's not how it does it nowadays, because movies don't end. Come on, man. We got a mid-credit scene.
If Marvel hasn't taught you that everybody started taking from it, if Marvel hasn't taught you, you never leave the theater.
Exactly.
Until the lights come back on.
And
they say
everybody in the theater knew that, and nobody got up. And the first scene, mid-credit scene, was a comedic one. It has Bill Murray's Dr. Peter Venkman and Sigourney Weaver's Dana Barrett. I know she was going to be in the movie, but I thought maybe she'd be. I was waiting for her the whole fucking time. I thought when they showed up at some point, she was going to be a ghost. She was going to have a proton pack. Maybe her kid Oscar from the second movie was going to be somewhere with a proton pack. But no, it was them fucking sitting at home, fucking with Venkman's fucking electroshock machine from the first movie, when she had the playing cards with the shapes on them, asking them what they were, like he was doing in the first movie to the people that were getting tested or going through the experiment, I should say. And she was fucking shocking them and shit like that. So it was a nice little fucking thing. And then it went back onto the credits till they ended and the post-credit scenes came through. And I won't say I liked, I'll say I loved the post-credit scene, the ending of it. It gave Winston the closure that he deserved. Because for those who know the history of the first movie and the script and how everything came to be, Winston was supposed to show up in page 8 of the script. So fucking Ernie Hudson was ready. Like, he learned all these lines and everything. Then when he reported to set to start filming the movie, he didn't get introduced to page 68. and all types of fucking dialogue was fucking wiped out and reworked. So it turns out that ever since the end of part 2, Winston has done very, very well for himself. He's a multimillionaire. He runs a successful business. He's been paying the rent at Raise Occult Books this whole time so Ray can stay open. And he's talking to Janine, and it looks like it alludes to the future of the franchise. It shows him in the old firehouse, so suggesting that he bought the firehouse. Bringing Ecto-1 in there, and he's walking around, gliding his hand upon Ecto-1, flashbacks coming in. And even with the flashbacks with Janine, in the beginning of the post-credit scene, the unused footage about like the medallion that she gave Egon, that was all shit that wasn't used in the original movie, So they did really well with that footage that they used to really tie everything together. And the ending, going back to the ending with Winston, getting real nostalgic with the car and alluding to his money is going to be the financial backing to like bring the Ghostbusters back and maybe franchises all over the world or whatever the case may be. So it definitely opened the door to another sequel or a continuation of the new generation. And not only that, but it showed us the containment unit that was flashing red.
Now think about this. I'm hoping it's not a Ghostbusters International because everything that expands isn't good. Man in Black International was fucking horrible. But I trust the writers and the director, especially if they bring back the same writers and director that they used for this movie.
And we able to build this franchise. And we got our four Ghostbusters, okay? Yeah. We got Finn Wolfhard's Trevor, we got Phoebe Spangler, we got Podcast, and we got Lucky. And they could get like Bill Murray probably won't do anything again for it. Maybe a pop in here in the next one. But Ernie Hudson will definitely love to be a part of it. And I know fucking they could definitely get like Dan Aykroyd to help him, like consulting, like maybe like a dispatcher or something like that, right? Or something like that. But I mean, of course, the box office is going to depend on what happens. But Dan Aykroyd and Ivan Reitman actually have a company called Ghost Corps that is a partnership with Sony to develop the fucking brand. They have offices on the Sony lot. So I don't see Sony just going to be wasting the money, even if it's a TV show, a series or something, or something like that.
Yeah. So as of right now, it's 16.5 mil USD.
What?
The take-in for Ghostbusters.
It has to be more than that because they did 44 last weekend alone in America.
Maybe that was it says, I don't know. I hate this shit. It says nope, that was opening night, 6.5. It was on a $75 million budget. So if they did 44 million on a thing, if they hit 125, it's a success. That's normally how they do it. You make 25 mil more than what it costs you, a success. So,
and that's where they really lacked in the marketing. Like going back to what we were saying earlier, because they could have killed it in the marketing.
I mean, just coming off of, even though Paul Rudd had a small but prominent, film point in the movie.
Hey, man, he was the motherfucking keymaster.
Yeah, ride his popularity as Ant-Man and everything else he do, and push that.
And this year's sexiest man of the year.
Facts. Ride that. Ride that like you ride The Rock to promote. You know what I'm saying? To promote everything he has going on. Matter of fact, pay The Rock to say, go see Ghostbusters.
Go see Ghostbusters. It's dope. I liked it when I was young, and I like it now. Oh, and Young Rock will be back. Season 2 will be back in March.
Can't wait for that. That season 1. I thought that show was going to be dumb. Like
so did I. Yeah, we talked about that.
I'm not gonna, and I'm a Young Sheldon fan. You know what I'm saying? I really like Young Sheldon more than I like The Big Bang Theory. And it gave me that Young Sheldon vibe mixed with Wonder Years. You could tell what The Rock watched when he was younger. So yeah, I can't wait for that to come back to see what's going on. There's some interesting stuff, and I like the fact that all the stories that he writes, that they do for that show, are inspired from real stuff that happened in his life.
Yeah, and there's so much too.
Yeah.
Just his family has been a part of the wrestling business forever, and everything's true like that. His grandma was really like that. She was gangster as shit. But yeah, Ghostbusters Afterlife is dope. Go see it. I want to go see it again. I was thinking about maybe going to see it tomorrow, dragging Rev to it, because when we started talking about it after Sunday dinner or on video the other day, video chat, that motherfucker was like, "Shut up, I haven't seen it." Well, go in your room, motherfucker.
Let's see. Box office, Ghostbusters Afterlife starts strong with 44 million. King Richard whiffs, and King Richard. To let everybody know, King Richard was a decent movie.
Okay.
King Richard was a decent movie. Again, a movie with no freaking promotion.
Late promotion.
None at all. Ghostbusters got its promotion just off of hype because we were looking to see it. It said it earned 16 million from 31 overseas markets. And it has a worldwide total of 60 million. So 15 million more, and it hit its cost.
Okay.
So they're well on their way, especially with nothing coming out, because what's the next big film? Spider-Man. That's not until December 20th. Well, no, that's December 15th. Matrix is December 22nd. So, but they got...
Yeah, Matrix is also going straight to HBO Max also, so they might not go to the theater to see that like that.
I don't know, because the Matrix is something you gotta see in IMAX.
Hey, I got a 150-inch screen in my bedroom. I'll be cool with that.
You know what I mean.
Yeah, but yeah, I definitely want to go see it in IMAX.
So they got a whole nother week and a half, you know what I'm saying, to run. So they got 2 weekends to run again, plus this Thanksgiving holiday to run. You got kids getting ready to get out on winter break. So they got time to make that up. I don't think that's gonna be bad. I think they smash. I think they at least do 115. 115 should earn them a sequel.
Okay.
Because you got to think, post-pandemic, they should have easily, if this wasn't a pandemic, they would have easily probably did 175 too. 200 million.
Yeah. Especially if it came out when it was supposed to come out.
Yeah, because what did the last bullshit ass Ghostbuster movie make?
It did. It made more than 44 million in the first weekend. Or maybe it didn't. I know the Rotten Tomatoes score was higher, but that was just a critic one. I don't know. I don't think the fan one is that high.
It did. Oh shit! The 2016 did 229 million worldwide.
Yeah.
How? That movie was fucking horrible.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
It was horrible.
I'm with you on that.
They were riding off the fame of Melissa McCarthy, and
yeah, a lot of women probably took their kids to see it.
Now Melissa McCarthy wasn't bad. I just don't think that was the film for her. I think Kate McKinnon, I think Kristen Wiig and Leslie Jones were all good picks. I think forcing Melissa McCarthy into like the lead role wasn't the right pick. She was just a popular choice. I feel like somebody else should have been in that role. Anybody. Scarlett Johansson. No, what's her name from? I cannot remember her name. She was in the movie with Jim Carrey, where I think she was in a band or something. She was on a TV show. I can't remember the name of the TV show where she played a dorky. She's popular. I just can't remember her name. I'm gonna look it up. Keep talking.
Yeah, you're gonna have to look it up because I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. Like, you got me all over here fucking thinking. I'm like, Jim Carrey been in a movie with all type of women. Like, I don't even know where to start. Yeah, I don't know. But should we move into the next thing?
Yeah, go ahead. I'll find this and just pop it up.
We're supposed to be talking about Hawkeye, but Indy hasn't got a chance to see it yet.
I really don't want to. Well, see, I don't want to talk about, and this is why I don't want to talk about it because we don't do this on Tuesdays, right?
Yes.
I don't want to talk about it because then when we come back next Tuesday, the next Hawkeye wouldn't have dropped. So I feel like a perfect time for this would be next Tuesday.
and give you a chance.
Yeah, give me a chance to go ahead and see that and break it down.
Well, then I don't know what else to talk about.
I say fuck talking about fucking Blade Runner because I hated the movie.
Yeah, Blade Runner. Yeah, that was stupid. I don't know why we fucking. I guess
we should have watched the original Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I guess. We got that one there. I wonder what happens. Let's see something real quick. Share screen. Chrome tab. That one. Turn that off and share it. Gotta get used to this layout. All right. Here's what movies they give us before we randomize it ourselves. Taxi Driver, Pretty Woman, The Untouchables, Oliver Twist, To Catch a Thief, Cube 2, Hypercube, Bonnie and Clyde, The Blues Brothers, The Poison Adventure, Men in Black, Bridget Jones's Diary, The Man with the Golden Gun, City of Angels, Mr. and Mrs. Smith,
Zoe Deschanel,
Famous, okay, and GoldenEye.
She should have had Melissa McCartney role. Kate McKinnon, Zoe Deschanel, Christian Wiig, and Leslie Jones would have been fucking perfect.
Okay, you were really fucking wanting to get that in there. So
it took me forever to Google that. You know how I found her? I put top attractive brunette TV stars, and she was number 5.
Okay. So this random ones they gave us is actually pretty good. Like Blues Brothers is one of my favorite of all times. But it's crazy how there's 2 James Bond movies in there. That's crazy. That's what they give us with 16. Let me let's go down to 4, see what they give us. Charlie and Chocolate Factory remake, Lost in Translation, Star Trek Nemesis, and Rebecca. Not bad. Let's go down to 2 movies, see what they give us. Kill Bill and Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest.
That's not a bad twofer.
No, okay. And the one movie they give us is Brazil, 1985. And that's not something we're going to watch. So let's try it again. And they give us All Quiet on the Western Front. Okay, this word gets difficult because we know we're not going to watch any of these stupid ass movies. So, since next big movie coming out is Spider-Man, we're gonna spend the next couple weeks watching the first movie from Spider-Man. Let's
do the first one from each one of the ones.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, I was trying to figure out how to say that.
Yeah, universes.
Yeah, universes. So we'll start off with Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, starring Tobey Maguire and Kirsten Dunst, William Dafoe. We will talk about that next week. I wonder if hold on, let me put 4. I wonder if they got superhero. They got genres. I wonder if they give me superhero. They don't. What is superhero? Is fantasy, isn't it?
Fantasy or action, one or the other.
Because that's like the old school Superman, Christopher Reeve Superman movies were considered fantasy. Fantasies. What do they give us? Mars Attacks, Lord of the Rings, Groundhog Day, Batman and Rob.
Groundhog Day, dog.
Yeah, Bill Murray.
Classic.
Random cartoon characters, random superpower generator. That's crazy. See, look at this one. Fifth Element, Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, Dracula, the original 1931, 48 Hours, Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines, Boys Don't Cry, Back to the Future 3, The Dark Knight, Meet Joe Black, Schindler's List, Bend It Like Beckham, The Blues Brothers again, E.T., Extraterrestrial, Jaws, Debs, and A Grand Day Out. Bro, like
Debs?
Jaws, yeah, Debs. Dibs?
Nah, man. Tobey Maguire's first outing as Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Then Andrew Garfield's first outing as the Amazing Spider-Man.
Hold on. We will watch. Here we go.
Do we do Tom Holland as well?
Yeah, we got to.
Okay.
I mean, we kind of have to because that's the whole point of it. We're gonna play the trailer right now from the original Spider-Man. Okay? But hold on, I gotta stop sharing and reshare it because fucking when I shared it originally, I did it with no fucking sound. So let me share this screen.